Welcome to the Ryderz Gambling Podcast, the #1 sports betting podcast out in Nashville, Tennessee. Here to help you hack the sports books and put a middle finger to the casinos.
The Preds last night, man. That's what I had to get out of here early for. Preds 4-2 score over the Canucks. Philip Forsberg, 2 goals, continues his assault on the league, making it hard for David Poole to deal him away at the trade deadline. Really good win over a team that they were 7 games better than, especially with like how much they've struggled here lately. Saros overall this year has played the most minutes out of anybody else in the league, like goaltenders included. So that's a pretty good game for him last night, especially allowing those first 2 goals in the first period and then coming out and shutting them out for the rest of the game. Especially shout out
Forsberg's a unit.
Yeah, he is. Shout out to Roman Josi too, the captain of the team, getting the All-Star selection after Nathan McKinnon goes out after a brutal hit from Taylor Hall the other night that absolutely just shattered the front of his face.
Bryce, I'm surprised you even remember all this of how many beers you drank at the game.
Yeah. He does like to get a bit rowdy.
Well, last night it was all just a little bit downhill after the Michigan State game, so that kind of dampened the mood a little bit, especially after the first
we'll definitely
period and a half or so.
Definitely get into that Michigan State game.
We're gonna get to that here in a second. I mean, that's coming up. But
What about this MTSU team, man?
MTSU,
On
dude.
fire.
On fire at home.
So Kermit Davis, shout out to him. He's the one that got us rolling way back in the day.
Yes, sir.
He coming off a big win over LSU last night.
He's now at Ole Miss.
Yep. But MT basketball 9-0 right now at home, sitting at 3-6 on the road after starting out 1-6 on the year. Big wins the past 2 times out on the road over Marshall and big rival 108 miles to the north in WKU. Starting to really trend in the nice direction. They are tied right now for the top in Conference USA with UAB. Have a matchup with UAB on Saturday in Birmingham. Hopefully they can keep that road record rolling up and try to get back to 500 on that. If they win that, I would expect the Glass House is jumping for a game against UTSA on Tuesday night. Hopefully the students and the fans show up and it looks just kind of like a lot like the Kermit Davis era and get it rolling from Nick McDevitt and the guys.
Yes, sir. I think that's a big part of it, man. You got to get the students to show up.
You got to get the students to show back up.
That really helps the players out, man.
We haven't seen the students in a long time.
It's a different atmosphere.
It's been since you could probably say it's been since about 2018 since we've really seen it jumping in there.
Video you posted with the 2018 from the basketball
Exactly.
season.
Yep.
And you're starting to see the social media groups kind of like talk about it again. The record's starting to look a lot like the same. Like I mean, when you look at us overall right now, you can't really say that there's a better team in Conference USA outside of like UAB and MTSU. They're definitely way better than anybody else because coming in third, you have like teams like WKU and stuff like that who have fallen 4 games back and everything. They really don't have a shot now at this point of catching up to UAB or MTSU unless there's just a total collapse, especially at this point in the season when MTSU has played so many of their games away on the road and now they're coming back home for most of the remainder of their games in the season.
Yeah, it should be interesting, especially like we were talking about, man. The Glass House, baby. If we can get that thing filled up a bit, I think, we got a good shot going into this.
Also
man.
got to the north game that just kicked off tonight. Something that I'll ask Cole about here in a little bit and get his input on the score once we get a little bit of stats. Kentucky's playing Vanderbilt tonight. Line opened up at 14.5 points. It's being held up in Lexington. I don't know if you guys had that on your slips tonight. I wasn't going to touch it. I think Vanderbilt's going to get their blown. I think Vanderbilt gets their doors blown off, but you never know. That's just a team that sometimes plays Kentucky really well.
Yeah, I do like Vanderbilt plus 14.5 tonight. I feel like they'll keep it close. Kentucky's definitely going to win this game, especially at home. But
Ty Washington guarding Scottie Pippen Jr. probably most of the game. I just don't know how much of a factor that's going to play into the game as well.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a blowout. Kentucky versus
Vanderbilt, especially in Rupp Arena.
Right.
So,
guess we'll see.
It's gonna be we'll see.
Yep.
Let's get into some bad beats, yeah? Jalen, I think you got something for us.
I do. So last night, Heat in Toronto playing the Raptors. Down 4. The line was 1.5. Heat plus 1.5. Down 4, and missed a wide open 3-pointer at the end of the game to lose it. So it's a pretty bad beat.
It does suck, man. Got to secure it at the end.
Yeah, you got to hit those shots.
Mm-hmm.
What you got over there, Bryce?
My worst one of the night happened to me while I was at the Preds game. I had Michigan State minus 3.5 over Maryland. Michigan State was let me think. They were a 5-win better team coming into Maryland last night. Came off a really good win on Saturday. You would think it'd be really easy for the 13th best team in the nation playing an unranked team that they're 5 games better than to cover a 3.5-point spread. They came in there up by 10 at the half. I don't know what happens after halftime. They're able to keep the lead basically the entire second half, although they just let it run down and down and down and down and down. They end up having the ball for the last possession of the game, tied game, go down, score a layup with 1.9 seconds left. At that point, there's absolutely no shot unless you get a steal and like some type of like ticky-tack foul to even cover that. So that's by far and away my bad beat of the night. I mean, 1.9 seconds away, and I had that parlayed with my lock of the night from last night. And we'll get to that.
Boo.
Yeah. Hey,
Bad
tragic.
choices.
hey,
I got a pretty bad one.
look, that
Your
was-
lock was good.
I'll say one thing.
You
That was-
parlayed it
I know.
wrong.
I was not gambling responsibly.
Come on.
Look,
Always
I
gamble
took his
responsibly.
lock. I made money last night off his
Hey,
lock.
I hit a lock last night, and I had a bad bet. Bowling Green lost last night, and Bowling Green lost to Central Michigan, and Creighton beat Connecticut.
I saw Creighton with a big win over
That's
Connecticut
a
last
big-
night. That's
that
a
ruined my
big one.
parlay.
Big win for Creighton.
But hey, North Carolina, the Warriors, and the Suns came through.
There you go. Yeah, that's who I had. The Suns with
Suns
Providence.
minus
You have any bad
5.5,
beats
yep.
last night, Zach?
Yeah. Damn. Alabama, Auburn, man. They look good in the first half.
How about
Alabama.
Alabama's collapse down the second half of the
they-
season
And
so
they
far?
just, collapse in the second.
You see
What's that game?
you see the Auburn players out there on the court with the brooms, sweeping the court.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bad beat, man. I don't want to talk about it.
Man.
My Alabama's just basketball is not,
Yeah, you're
not looking
thinking
good, man.
J.D. Davidson.
Auburn
looked
just is hot. They're number one.
like, yeah, they are number one. The jungle right now is the hardest place in the nation to play. They're undefeated there.
Absolutely.
I would probably say second behind them that you could probably compete with would be like I said, my luck of the night last night, that was Providence. But even though they were away from home and they were at St. John's, they still pulled through with a 4-point win. And all they had was plus 125 on the money line.
I took a money line too.
Yeah, I took a money line. Well, you can't tease the spreads in college basketball, so there's no point at that point in taking them plus 2.5. At that point, you might as well just go ahead and take them at that plus 125.
Shout out Sam Burris on those tennis plays.
Yeah, we'll have to get Sam in
Oh,
here
yeah.
one night
I took 3
on
of
those
those
tennis
yesterday.
plays. I have no clue who any of those people are that he's ever betting
Oh,
on.
I
think
can't
that's the
pronounce some of the names.
I think
can't
that's
say the
how does he
names.
even know who those people are half the time? Like I think they're competing in like smaller tournaments in like places like
Yeah,
Serbia and stuff like
these
that.
Big
the
tennis
three I
guy.
won were at 1:15 a.m. yesterday. They were before anything.
Who?
The 3 tennis games, they were at 1:15 a.m.
AM?
Yeah,
Dang.
in the morning.
See,
Yeah, that's how most of those tennis games go.
Is he just up watching tennis or checking the play-by-play?
No, that's just when-
he just
It was,
places those things.
someone from Japan.
I think it's pretty wild too. Like, did you see how long his legs were today? I think he
Yeah.
had about 6 legs.
I
But
hit
Let me-
three
it
of
was
them.
like
I took
$20
check.
for like.
every predicted
Bless.
winner won
8.
Oh, thank you.
in the
8 legs.
tennis thing. Everyone
8
won.
legs.
It was an 8
8 legs, but
parlay.
I mean, it was like $20 for 63. Like at that point, I don't even.
Yeah.
No,
They were all every.
I
single
know he
one
usually
took,
hits them, but
They were all predicted to win. They all hit every single one that was supposed. There was no underdog winning.
yeah, I didn't
today.
think so.
I just
Yeah.
took 3 of them and threw it in my basketball parlay.
Let's get into these hot team, cool teams. Who we got hot? Still on basketball. We were talking about
Tonight?
Auburn.
Oh, college basketball.
Anything, yeah, college
I got
basketball.
NBA. I got
Shoot,
some
you can
NBA
go with
picks
NBA
tonight.
if you want to.
Yeah, I got Celtics are gonna be hot tonight. They're getting the dub for sure.
Ooh,
Pacers will probably upset the Magic, and I definitely think the Grizzlies are gonna bounce back against the Knicks. But the Knicks have been playing good basketball, so that's kind of
Yeah.
up in the air. That's the last one's like a solo bet. You gotta lean that one.
so who's your hot team?
Oh, the Celtics.
That's just
They're
your hot
winning.
team?
Yeah, they're winning tonight.
I don't know, man. They're a little inconsistent. I don't know if I would declare them a hot team.
Oh, they're gonna get it back.
I mean, they either win by a
Can,
lot or
can we get a
little
definition
bit.
of hot team?
I declare a hot
I'm just-
team somebody like the Auburn Tigers right now.
Oh,
in college
absolutely.
basketball.
Okay, if we're talking, I'm
Or-
just talking about a team I'm taking like guaranteed pick.
That would be lock of the night. Sir.
That would
That
be
would be
lock
a
of the night, and
That's
that's something
Talking
we'll
about
get
teams
to.
that are lighting it up right now. Teams you don't
Yeah,
want
who's
to play.
looking good to you, pal? I mean, like on a consistent basis, not just.
Suns for NBA.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Suns
Suns.
are gonna, they're hot.
What are they still
They're
sitting
rocking.
right? What is it, 38-9 right now?
I don't know the exact one.
They're sitting
won.
somewhere
hot.
around there right now.
Suns
Yeah,
are-
they're
yeah,
looking
Suns
really
are
nice.
turning it up.
It's just so tough to like play in like their physicality right now. I'm not sure who's going to beat them in a 4-game series once you get to the playoff time, especially with like guys like Deontay Ayton,
They get
Mikal
Hayden back
Bridges.
100%. It's over.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing too.
They're 41-9.
Dang.
41-9.
They're at the top. So.
Yeah, so
Nice.
they're a little
The
bit better
next-
than I even thought.
The Warriors and the Grizzlies are up next.
Yeah, but they're about what is it now? They're sitting about like 5 games back or so.
Yeah, 39-38. They're good. Warriors are close though.
Zach, who's your hot team?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, like we said, the Auburn Tigers, man. I mean, they're just fuck them, but they're just going too hot.
Yeah, my hot team. I would probably agree with you too. I'd probably take the Auburn Tigers. So you took, yeah. Well, I don't know. I'll move over then. I'll move over.
Well, I was going to go with the Signs
I'll say my hot team is not gonna. I'll say my hot team is. I'll go with Marquette in basketball. They've won 7 out of their last 8 now. Before they lost their last game to Providence, they had won 7 in a row. I really like first-year head coach there, Shaka Smart. After he came over from Texas, he's really done a lunch. Like, this is the first time that I really feel like Big East basketball is like back to being Big East basketball in a while. They had a really tough loss on Saturday against Providence at Providence, and that's a place, like I said earlier, that they're undefeated. So definitely take them as the hot team right now. I'd say cold team far and away. At least when it comes to like covering spreads and like in terms of gambling right now, Tennessee, man. They just can't do anything. Easton, what you talked about last night, you were saying Texas A&M to cover that spread. They were able to score a basket with 16 seconds left when Tennessee dribbled out the ball. And I would definitely classify that as like one of the bad beats of the night. End up losing by 11 points instead of that 11.5. Don't end up covering that spread. That's an awful one.
It is pretty bad.
Going back to the hot, I don't have a necessarily hot team, but I've got a hot bet that people should be doing. The Heat have hit their last 6 overs, and I don't see any sign of stopping right now. So definitely bet those Heat
So
overs.
Heat's heating up, baby.
Heat is heating up. The overs.
Well, they're still sitting first in the East right now too.
Right.
They started off the season super good, and then they kind of hit. They hit a little injury patch right there, especially with Bam Adebayo going out, so that kind of had to restructure their whole lineup.
Okay, well, why don't we hop into these locks of the night? I know you're excited over there, Bryce.
And I am,
to get into your lock. You've had it ready since last night.
My lock of the night is Drake.
Sleeping on it.
When I took them last night, they were minus 3.5. They've moved to minus 4.5 by the time game time hit today. Really good team. Let me see real quick. I believe they are about 8 games better than their opponent tonight. Let me see who their opponent is again real quick. Drake's just one of those kind of wonky teams, one of those wonky leagues. Indiana State, they're playing in Terre Haute tonight. They're about 6 games better than them. No, I take that back. They're 7 games better than Indiana State. So going into Terre Haute, I still don't think minus 3.5 should be a problem for Drake, especially for the fact that that's not really a long ride for them. It's somewhat close to home. And they've just been like a really hot team this year, along with the fact that Indiana State just really struggled in a conference that's really not been that great overall.
Jay, what you got, buddy?
Tonight I got a couple NBA picks and one college pick. First NBA pick, I've got Nets minus 4.5 versus the Kings tonight. KD out right now, but Kyrie's been lighting it up. So, yeah, I love the Nets tonight, especially at home versus the Kings. I've also got Lakers minus 4. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I take that back. They're in Sacramento. The Nets are, but I feel like they're still going to pull it out. Lakers minus 4 tonight versus the Blazers. Blazers just haven't been producing lately, so I feel like the Lakers are going to get that dub at home.
Dude, I think the Blazers are about to break up. Like, I think at trade deadline time, they're probably having some players dealt out of there. I think if the Lakers have enough room available and they're able to clear enough space, along with some draft picks, you probably see Lillard on the move. You probably see
McCollum's got to get out of there.
Yeah, dude, a lot of people are projecting McCollum right now. You're looking at teams like the Memphis Grizzlies who need another wing player, and that could be a possible guy that can play behind or play with Desmond Bane out there on the court whenever John Morant's not out there.
Yeah, even though LeBron's out tonight, I feel like Lakers are going to get it done.
AD's been covering.
Yeah.
What you got over there, Easton? You got something locked?
Oh, yeah. I took 76ers Celtics. I parlayed mine. I think they're going to get the job done against the Wizards, and the Celtics are probably going to get the dub tonight.
You just taking them both money line?
Yep.
Just money line? What was that?
Sure.
What was the odds on that?
Like minus one something.
Okay.
It's
Let's
too,
see.
the Celtics are kind of overrated right now, so the odds are up.
I also took one that's already started right now, and it was New Hampshire minus 2.5 over Hartford tonight. Hartford is 3 games worse than New Hampshire on the year. Minus 2.5 is not that big of a spread, and so far those smaller teams this year. I don't know what the trend's been with college basketball this year, but for some reason, teams on the road have been horrible this year. Like, it's been like a complete NCAA round type of thing. People have just not been good on the road. I don't know what it is. But New Hampshire's already opened up about a 7-point lead in that game, so that's already starting to look fairly good early in the first. It's about halfway through the first half.
There you go. Okay, I got us a little 4-player prop parlay, so I'll just go right into it.
Okay.
So, first off, I got Jaren Jackson over 1.5 3-points. We got the Knicks coming into this game, allowing the second most 3 points to power forwards. With that, I got Dean Wade over 7.5 points. Houston coming in, allowing the third most points to small forwards. And on top of that, we got Luka over 9.5 assists. Oklahoma coming in at the most assists allowed to point guards.
Now, when you're talking about Oklahoma City, though, you got to remember, like, there's with them playing a team like the Mavericks, my only hesitation with something like that is, will Luka Doncic, and I saw somebody say something on, like, in the Twitter comments, they were just like, do you think Luka Doncic will play enough minutes in a game like that against a team like that to be able to get a triple-double? It's just, like, not only –
that might be the only thing.
It's not necessarily a thing of, like, do you think they'll take him out early? I think it's more of just, like,
If he naturally
I think
gets
they're
it
going to
early.
naturally limit his minutes in the
might.
quarters. I think he's probably going to play, like, 4 minutes per quarter or something like that, or maybe, like, half a quarter every quarter or something like that.
Okay, and then we got Anthony Simmons over 18.5 points, and he's coming in averaging 20.7, and that puts you at plus 1,500. There we go, buddy. That's going to hit. No problem. No fucking problem.
My last pick of the night was the Wisconsin money lock. Lock of the night. I'm sorry. Lock of the night. Wisconsin at Illinois. Wisconsin's been lighting it up recently. 17-3 on the season. I don't feel like traveling to Illinois will be a factor for them.
What do you think about the points on that game? Over under? I think it was like 140. I think it'll be defensive. Might be an under game.
I also
I'm
got
trying to
Grizzlies minus 3.5 tonight, and the Cavaliers minus 4.5. I think the Grizzlies get business
I think
done.
the Grizzlies get
You know, they really haven't had many times this year where they've lost 2 back-to-back games. So I think they're going to come out after the other night against the 76ers. I mean, that was just a tough one.
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey was just relentless. They had a great game without Joel Embiid. I mean, that's just a huge win for the Sixers, like, if you're looking at it for them, because, I mean, they're right there on the heels of the Heat. The Eastern Conference is really close up there in those top 3 teams, and for them to come out without him and get that win over a team like the Grizzlies, that's huge.
136 is the over-under for that Wisconsin-Illinois game, by the way. Cole Bradley joining with us today. We got any picks for Cole Bradley tonight?
I am taking notes.
Taking
'Cause
notes.
I just got my DraftKings set up a couple days ago, so that boy's getting the insight.
Degenerate rookie, huh?
Yeah.
Cole Bradley, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're just a guest, man. What do you do?
Yeah, so
you do anything? Are you a professional gambler?
Tell me about
Not
you.
a professional
Oh, yeah.
gambler, but
Seems like you just got in.
I don't know. I might dabble into it, but
Okay.
I'm
here to help.
I'm a country singer, so
Oh,
yeah.
maybe we'll have to get you on.
Playing at the airport in Nashville, Tennessee. You guys know if you're flying through, you might see me. Check me out.
yeah.
I play at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yes, sir. There we go. So,
I've had the privilege of
so he's famous.
listening to Cole live, and it was a pretty good show. I had a good night. So
Thank you.
You got any picks for the Super Bowl, Cole?
Oh man, I think aren't the Rams favored or people are?
Yeah, the
favoring
Rams. I think it's minus
I don't know.
4.5.
I want to go Bengals. I don't know.
You're gonna go Bengals.
Love
Okay.
I'm a Bengals man.
Love
Me
the
and,
pick.
me and Jay are on the
I want to see
Bengals.
Joe Burrow do it.
Big Dick Joe.
Joe
yes, sir.
Burr.
Big Dick Joe.
Big guy.
You got color of the Gatorade?
I'm gonna go with orange.
Orange?
You're
That's something
wrong.
who had orange? Cody and Zach.
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's
It only
3 for
makes
orange.
sense when the Bengals come through.
We
Big
got
Dick
we
Joe.
got 3 for lemon lime too. Now, what about heads or tails on the coin flip?
I'm gonna go heads. It's always
All
worked
right,
for me.
heads. That's what Zach Brown
That's
took
pretty
as well. He
nice.
said he's
That's
always a
pretty
tails guy, but he took
But
heads
he's,
this time.
yeah, he's gotta go.
But being a musician, and all,
He
do you
likes
have
his
the
tails.
over under on the national anthem? Over
Okay,
under
yeah.
2 minutes.
Um,
Country singer singing it this year.
Oh yeah.
I haven't
Who
heard the
do we
guy
have
who's
again?
singing.
Wow, Jalen, you had one job
Whoa. I've had a couple jobs.
I'm gonna go with under.
under
be
2
honest.
minutes.
I think under.
Yeah.
Mickey
Yeah.
Guyton, country singer Mickey Guyton, singing the national anthem this year.
Who the hell
Never
is
heard
that?
of
He can't say I know Mickey.
Never heard of him,
Haven't
but
heard of him,
he's
but-
I'm
popular
sure he'll
enough to
do
sing.
good.
Yeah, if you got him for the
Singing LA.
Super
Cole
Bowl,
would definitely
dude,
do
he's gotta
better,
kill it.
but
Last year Eric Church did it.
Yeah, he did,
Yeah.
and he went under. Pretty sure.
Under, he did it with a girl too.
Yeah,
Jasmine
yeah.
something.
I'm going with the guy going under just because I feel like if the girls are doing it, they got
Right.
they're gonna go way harder for it, like doing the runs way longer. I feel like that's
I feel like country
good way to
singers,
put it.
just for some reason, they take it
Little
a little
horse.
bit. They don't mess around as much.
We're gonna call Zach Brown. We got Zach
Oh,
Brown on the phone. Maybe
Zach
we'll
Brown.
get his take on something. Special guest is Zach Brown.
Love it. Bird
Hey,
thoughts
Zach
from down
Brown.
south.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hey, man, you're live on the podcast yet again. Special guest Zach Brown, man. We're wondering, you got any picks for tonight? Anything?
Yes, of course I got some picks.
Okay,
You know?
okay.
What
We're
kind of question
riding
is that, Zach?
UT Rio Grande Valley money line.
UT what?
Rio Grande Valley?
UT Rio Grande Valley spread, not money line spread.
Okay.
My bad. We're
What'd
riding
you-
the spread.
What made you pick this?
What do you mean? They're UT Rio Grande. They're a fucking wagon. They're the boys.
How do you
They
not know
cover
about this
spread.
pick, guys?
I'm not sure. What sport is this? Is soccer?
This is college basketball, baby.
I swear, bro, I haven't even heard of these teams.
Who
This is
did
terrible.
you bet
telling
on,
you?
Zach Brown?
UT Rio Grande Valley. They cover spread.
And what channel are they going to be playing on tonight?
Fuck if I know.
So you won't be watching. You'll just be
You
I know
watching
they
the
cover
game.
got to figure out some way to get a beam on that
they
one.
play Lamar in 37
Oh, dude, I
minutes.
can't watch it, but I'll
They
just
play
get the
Lamar?
play-by-play
They play Lamar
on
in
the-
37
Oh,
minutes.
so it's some HBCU action is what it sounds
Yes,
like.
sir.
Hey, Cole. Zach, we
They're
got Cole
minus
Bradley
250.
in the room with us, man. You want to say hey to him? Tell him, he's.
Of course. What is up, my guy?
My boy Zach.
What do you say?
He said, "My boy Zach."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He says he
What's up?
misses you.
Zach, where are you at right now?
My house. I was at a bar earlier.
Oh, you were at Sandbar earlier. I saw.
I figured you were at a bar pounding
saw.
a beer right
I
now.
had a
Zach, I
couple
really
beers
want to
after work.
answer. I really want to get to know. Like this is the real question I've been wanting to ask you all day. What do you think about the name Commanders?
The Washington
I
team.
was just
The
about to get
Washington
into that.
Commanders.
Dude, that might be the worst fucking name ever. But have you heard about the best team to just come out of them in the past 7 days?
No.
So do you think they should have just stayed the team, or do you think
The football
they
team.
they should have changed to a
Dude, they
different
should have been
name?
the fucking Redskins. Like what?
Well, you can't.
Or the
have
Red
them
Hogs,
stay-
or
Zach,
like the
you
Red
can't
Birds,
say
sort
that.
of like.
Hey, Zach, that's the R word. You can't use that.
Yeah, we're living
sorry.
we're living in
We're gonna
different
have
times.
to cut that part out for sure.
Nah, we don't have to cut that part
Nah,
out.
it's
However,
Zach
he's using
Brown.
the R word.
It's a part of
Yeah,
history.
come on,
It's
come
the
on.
red- that's the name.
You
That's
be
the
quiet
name-
over
No, my
there.
bad.
That's the name of the old team.
Ace is gonna get canceled.
No, I don't believe in all that. I think they should have changed his name. It was a good idea, honestly.
Need to
like-
need to educate
Alright,
yourself a little bit, Zach.
But
Brown.
here's the thing. Fuck them. In AAA baseball, a minor league team with the Houston Astros, they were called the Skeeters.
The Space
They're now
Cowboys.
called the Space Cowboys.
Love it.
And that
Really?
shit is fire. Their logos are it. Like,
You know the
Oh my.
the team in
I
El
have to
Paso
cop a
that's a
jersey.
AAA baseball team. That's the El Paso Chihuahuas. Yeah,
I
yeah.
did a
Yes,
whole-
sir.
I-
Game.
I covered
Love
them
the
for a whole
Chihuahuas,
They
day.
got the
dude.
Montgomery
The-
Biscuits in Double A down there.
I've
in
watched the
Montgomery.
Biscuits game. I've went down
The
and watched
Sugarland-
There's
the
all
Biscuits
sorts
game.
of
Space
names down there
Cowboys
in
are where
minor
it's
league
at.
baseball.
Zach Brown, we're gonna see you purchasing some Sugarland Space Cowboys season tickets anytime soon.
no, I don't live out there, but I'm about to buy all that merch because
Buy
that's
all
hard.
the merch you can. Fund that
Of
team.
course.
Good.
All right,
I'm
buddy,
gonna.
any
I'm,
other picks
they're
for
my
us?
new team.
Any other picks for us? NBA? Anything for the night before we let you go?
NBA. I like Bulls money line.
You like Bulls money line? Why do you like Bulls money line?
I just feel like it's one of those nights for Mr. Ball. He's just gonna do what he does.
And ball out. There we go.
Ball out.
All right, Zach Brown. We appreciate you joining us from.
Always a pleasure, buddy.
From Boynton Beach, Florida. Yeah.
Alright.
every
Yes,
time.
sir. Yes, sir. We appreciate you. Talk
All right,
soon,
see you,
pal.
boss.
See you, buddy.
Hey, we should get back into that. What do y'all think about the Commanders? I want to know y'all's opinion.
I
Hey,
think it
look.
sucks. I mean, to be
It's
honest
been
with
2
you,
years. 2 years
I mean,
that they've been
one
the
thing I-
Washington.
The commies and they're red.
The
I
commies
was
in the road.
talking about it the other day. I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, like you look overseas at a bunch of like soccer teams and like athletic clubs and stuff. They just call themselves like Athletico or like
Right.
football team or like. I mean, there's a lot more generic terms over there. So I mean,
Correct.
really, at the end of the day, and I didn't hate the W being on their helmet or anything like that either in their current uniform. So I don't understand why they just don't stay the football team.
I didn't like it. I mean, I didn't hate the name, the football team at all, man.
No,
I mean,
I
it's
didn't
grown
hate the
on
football
to me.
team at all. It
Everybody's been
sounds-
used to it. It's 2 years by
Did y'all
now.
see what
on
they
the
did
team.
to come up with the Commanders?
No, do they?
They-
It sounds to me like they probably just
they,
put their
uh,
hand in a bowl with a bunch of
No,
like.
it's similar. They came up with 1,200 unique names, and I guess it says they came down to 50, and then they let 40,000 random diverse fans choose which name they wanted, and they chose the Commanders. There was 40,000 that wanted the Commanders.
Well, at least it wasn't just a front office.
Well, they
decision,
needed a
right?
bigger pool, obviously.
That had to have been those Russian bots that Donald Trump
Yeah,
was
I don't
talking about stole the
know.
election.
They stole
Stole the
the
team name.
They
50
stole the
names,
Washington
It had
football
to have been
team's
Russia.
name.
They're communists.
I mean, hey,
They
Red
picked
and
the
yellow.
Commanders.
The
That was
red?
the best name on the list.
That's the new Russians
That's
team.
crazy.
all this
Washington
Ukraine, all this stuff
Commanders.
going on in the Ukraine, and they've just gotten to come out from behind and just gotten the team's name out from under.
What is a commander? What is their mascot?
Like a kind of like an army
What
general.
about the Washington Warriors, man? I thought that was cool. They didn't go with that name because
Well, you
apparently it
remember
was
back
too
in-
similar to the Redskins.
you
I mean, if you think about some
You know what they
Warriors-
should have done?
What's a damn commander?
I mean, you're
He's
right.
in charge of the Warriors.
What they should have
And we
done
have-
was name the team the Bullets, just like they had the Wizards back in the day before they had to change it because they said it gave the city a bad image.
Yeah, it's a
the
bullet.
city already has a bad image.
The city does have a bad image.
It's like
Involves
DC is
bullets.
like top 5.
Shout out to all the people from DC.
Yeah, shout out to our DC listeners, but you live in a pretty crime-filled city right now.
In other team news, NFL team news, did y'all see the Broncos is now officially listed for sale?
Really?
Yeah, the Broncos are listed for sale. And we got Peyton Manning and 2 different investment groups looking to put his portion in and get a little spice.
Speaking of the Broncos, what do you think about John Elway and the boys and this whole Brian Flores situation?
Doesn't look
White House.
good.
Bad look.
Bad looks, man.
Bad look.
The
Class
Dolphins,
action lawsuit.
Dolphins are in it deep, though.
You got to
The
think about it
worst.
too. When you're looking at somebody like Brian Flores from his position, you filed this lawsuit against the league, who literally owns a day of the week, and on top of that, they have 32 billionaire owners. So I mean, that's literally a shield. The lawsuit's going to be really interesting to see where that goes.
See how it plays out.
And
for
like,
sure.
especially like, it's got to be interesting from his standpoint too, because I mean, when you come out against and you file the lawsuit against the league, that includes all 32 owners, even if those owners aren't involved in that case and stuff. It's going to affect them some way financially down the road. So at that point, he's not. I was listening to First Take this morning, and Robert Griffin III was talking about how like once you file something like this, you're not going to be invited back to the table. So like in terms of coaching,
Oh, he
career
knew
and
he
stuff,
wasn't. Yeah.
That's it.
That's
well, because he hasn't gotten a job. He hasn't been hired.
I mean, what? Yeah, what? What company would take back an employee that does that? Obviously,
Exactly.
I'm gonna assume
Yeah.
if he did that lawsuit though, some stuff's probably happened that like he can't really.
Well, there's
right
text
now.
messages.
Yeah,
too.
but
I mean,
there's probably a lot
Oh, I'm
more.
sure.
If it's a
Yeah.
lawsuit,
Everything.
there's
Did y'all
probably
see
some
those
stuff that he hasn't
Bill
showed yet.
Belichick?
yeah, the Bill Belichick
Those
text.
are wild.
I mean,
I don't know how I felt about the Bill Belichick. He seemed like he meant well.
Well,
in
yeah,
the text.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Bill
genuinely-
Belichick's a good guy.
Genuinely thought he was talking to the
He
other.
said,
However,
he
it
was
was
just
just-
saying,
however-
holy
however-
shit, I apologize.
however-
I didn't know that I was talking about the wrong one. Like he
I can-
called it, like
I can definitely believe it coming from somebody like what he said about like Elway and them showing up the
Yeah.
next morning, and it was apparent that they had been heavily drinking the night before and stuff like that. I mean, that just sounds like Elway from the very beginning. I mean, you're talking about a guy who was drafted into the NFL way back in the day and didn't want to go play for the team that he was drafted to, and threatened to go play baseball for the New York Yankees in order to get his way and go to the Broncos and play. So
Little segue into other NFL news.
the Rudy Rule.
The
yeah,
what?
the Rooney Rule.
The Rudy Rule.
Someone saying that they got to at least interview one candidate of color.
It's like a old.
Oh,
broken-
yeah.
It's like a new way that they're like.
Right, yeah, I
The
knew
way
that.
that they hire NFL coaches is apparently really bad, like the original way.
The
They're
due
trying to-
process isn't that great.
It's
Yeah.
it's pretty like you got to know someone that knows someone that.
Of course, yeah.
I was
for you.
I was gonna
But it should be
segue.
based off of skill, considering you have this much fans and money. Like it's-
Also, speaking of the Broncos,
Winners
Life
win,
should be
like-
fair.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, it's not fair. It's not a fair thing. It's the best winner.
also speaking of the Broncos,
Which means it's not fair. If the person best fit can't get the job, it's not fair. Life's not fair.
Yes, I'm saying it's not fair.
but it goes along with what I told
I
you.
think y'all are saying the same thing.
Yes, he said.
No,
he
was
said it's not about
he was-
when it's
He
fair.
was arguing me at first, saying it's not fair. I
Bruh,
was
yeah,
like,
life ain't fair.
Life isn't fair.
What's up, Bryce?
Message
Another
of
thing
the
that I was
day.
going to say about the Broncos, speaking of them, man, with the team being up for sale at this point, do you think Aaron Rodgers lands there?
Man, I don't, hey,
Or-
what,
Tom
if
Brady,
it's under
Tom
the-
Brady retirement official now. They still
Him
have.
him and Manning. I mean, I feel like they're at least buds.
Do you really
He
want to go
owns
play
the
in
team?
the cold up there in
You think
Denver,
he
though, or do
cares?
you want to go down and play in Tampa Bay now that Tom Brady's not there?
Come on, you talked about. I mean, what about their cap? They don't have that much money to work with, do they? Down
They
there?
don't.
I
I
have
don't
no
know
clue
if they can
I
pay
checked
a
it.
Rodgers salary,
Yeah.
man.
But
Coming off an MVP season.
I
Aaron
would-
Rodgers
that's-
bought land in Nashville.
That's
and
what I was about
there's
to
a
segue
report-
into.
There's a whole report out saying that he's
They lied to us about Brady, bro.
People here in Tennessee are so delusional. I remember when
Yes.
Peyton Manning retired, and Tennessee
I didn't-
fans up in Knoxville started talking about him coming and coaching the team because
Yeah,
Chris
I
Jones
not
was so
gonna coach.
bad.
He's not going to coach
No,
college football.
no, not
Absolutely
a shot.
not.
And I've heard a bunch of delusional people talking about Tom Brady going up and coaching Michigan now with Harbaugh departing, and that's just
way.
that's even more delusional. Like, bro, do you ever hear Tom Brady? Where on his
years in
where on his story do you ever hear him like anywhere like ever shout out Michigan for the most part? Like I understand
Or-
he never talks bad on him or anything,
He's
but
been to
he
a couple
never.
games since he's left.
Or
I would hope so. I mean, it's been 22 years.
I mean, yeah.
But at
Speaking
this
of-
point, that's not his legacy.
Absolutely not.
Speaking
You know,
of
he
Tom
wasn't. He
Brady-
wasn't best there either. I
No,
mean, he came out in the draft and was like the
199
100
draft, man.
Definitely wasn't. Yeah,
That's
he
not
was
his
no one in
legacy.
Michigan, I would assume.
No one knows him
No
for
discredit to his
Michigan.
goatness, but he probably was not very.
Whereas you have like someone like Peyton Manning who won that.
Yeah.
Who was it that he beat? Was it Alabama that one year, and then he directed the band, or was that Georgia? I can't remember exactly who it was, but you know, like iconic images like that, and like he had a great college career, almost won the Heisman, but you know, Tom Brady didn't come close to winning the Heisman. In
It's
college.
hard though. It's hard for a lot of them to.
piggybacking on what Bryce said about his little farewell message he had, didn't mention the Patriots organization, Bill Belichick, the city of Boston, anybody in that long 7-page.
He thanked them when he left originally and went to Tampa
I know,
Bay.
but still, you'd feel like you'd at least shout him out after being
after
there
all
20
he's
years.
done, I mean,
Was there not a
they
report
owe
today
him a
saying he
fucking
was
thank
signing
you.
a one-day contract? To
I
go back?
don't know how true that is. I
Okay,
know there was
saw that
I don't
come
believe
out.
that's true.
I don't think it is
there
true.
was a
That's
blue
lot of-
check mark that tweeted that out, but I
Yeah.
don't know how
It was-
legitimate
it was
that
a
blue check mark
reporter,
is.
But if he does do that, I think that's the right choice.
I
I think
agree.
he should go up north and retire.
That's
I
what
think
I'd do
Gronk
if I was
should
him.
too.
So
But you
Yeah,
gotta wonder,
Gronk
like,
just followed him down there.
what's
for no
Gronk gonna
reason.
do?
That'd be
Is
funny.
Is Gronk retiring now?
Gronk,
Oh,
Hell
faked-
yeah,
Gronk
Gronk's
faked
retiring.
retirement
He only-
already.
yeah,
He already
there's
faked
no way.
retirement and
I
came
think he's
back
gonna
just to
retire.
go win one with Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Edelman was going to get down. Dude, I never thought Antonio Brown was going to be the guy that got down there with them. I always thought it was going to be Edelman. And then, you know.
I called it. He was down there throwing football with Tom Brady at a Florida high school on his Instagram. He posted it. I put it in the group chat forever ago, but he was down there practicing. I think it was last year, and then he finally got.
I saw a good tweet the other
before.
day talking
Easton
about
the
it.
psychic here.
It said Tom Brady. It said Tom Brady's going to keep playing football until Gronk is going to become a USAA member.
he wants that membership bad.
Gronk just wants to go slam some beers and party. He's going to be a DJ like Shaq. I'm calling it. He's going to start doing exactly what Shaq does and just be out there going crazy.
I saw a tweet and it was someone
I would go if he
asking
was DJing.
what collegiate athlete they would like to have as a roommate in college, and there was an overwhelming answer for Gronk. Like half the comments.
I would
just had
fucking
Gronk
hate
on it.
having Gronk.
I would have done
That'd be
Josh
crazy.
Rosen. You remember that picture of him in the dorm room back
that
in
the
the
one
day
with
with
the
the
hot tub?
inflatable hot tub? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Little hot tub action
What about Money Manziel?
in your dorm.
No,
Money
I
Manziel
don't
would
know
be a
about
good
that.
Manziel's a
He-
dickhead.
Yeah,
He
he was a
couldn't even
crazy
walk
person.
around
Do
campus.
y'all not remember Manziel
couldn't
pushed
walk
his
the campus.
TCU girlfriend out of a moving car?
Yeah, I think he might have
Oh,
like
yeah.
Definitely
She was a
crazy.
she was
come
a
home
cheerleader.
drunk
yeah.
one time and
Definitely
tried to, like,
crazy, but
bite your
his
arm or
campus
something.
life must have been insane.
Absolutely.
He came out and said
Absolutely.
he had to get carded to every class. Couldn't just sit there. I'm sure a lot of those
Well, of
athletes
course,
do.
That's
but
crazy though when you think
Absolutely, yeah.
about it. Even that
Like, he's
campus,
just the
Texas
same age.
A&M is not that. It's not crazy like something you need a cart for. Like you could get there.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. We want to go into some other picks for the night, or anybody got any other hot picks?
I was seeing something earlier, and I just wanted to talk about. I mean, we all know how powerhouse the SEC football program is, but 12 out of the top 30 recruiting classes for this year are SEC teams.
Let me
I
think.
thought that was pretty
who are the two that aren't? Vanderbilt and
Vanderbilt is not in the top 30.
Fuck Vandy.
yeah,
And,
that's to go without saying.
But I know, of course, Texas A&M is number 1. Bama's 2. I know Georgia's 3. LSU's either 4 or 5.
I'm rooting for Auburn. I just want them to. Get
Auburn,
You gotta think-
Auburn's
They're
in
the
that
only, one,
top
they're the
30.
only
You
ones
gotta
I
think-
see beating Gonzaga.
You got to think.
There's a
I don't
couple
know.
other close. There's a lot of 2-loss teams.
I don't think
There's like-
Gonzaga's that impressive. I think
There's a-
I think when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, I think if you look at like the play here recently of teams like Kentucky, or if you look at the play here,
We're not
What?
talking about the same thing. I was talking about football, college football.
yeah, that's what he mentioned Gonzaga though.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
my
yeah,
bad.
I was just talking about. I'm
that was
just
my
rooting for
fault.
Auburn right now.
Oh, that threw me off. I didn't know.
I think the most interesting
where
team
that
for
came
the
from.
SEC next year is going to probably be like Will Levis in Kentucky, just overall, just because they're going to return so many players along with like. I'm really excited to
Yeah.
see what he's going to
Hey,
be able to do.
the
'cause
Kentucky atmosphere for the games too is pretty.
They got a
nice.
nice
It's
stadium, but their
rocking over
Commonwealth
there.
is really,
Looks
really
good.
nice.
I seen a video of it. Looked nice. You have to check that out. We should actually go up there and check one of those games out. Might as well. I don't really care to root for Kentucky. I'm not going to buy any Kentucky gear, but I'll go watch the game.
Cole, you be singing down there on Broadway during before the Titans games and some of the Nashville soccer games. You ever have any good stories of things that happened down there before those?
Oh shoot, I don't even. I'm trying to think of anything that's happened that's crazy. Most of the time, I always play. So I play like early in the day, and so I don't really get to see the nightlife. That's when all the crazy stuff
yeah.
happens. So
You got any
whenever I
crazy
play
drunk
early-
tips?
Man, drunk tips.
Cole, I've watched you
I
at
gotta-
night before.
Any homeless encounters?
All the time.
Homeless
There was a guy
encounters.
who actually got arrested. I was playing at Rippy's, and there's a dude in a tent. He set up shop right outside the window of Rippy's, and he was selling I don't know what. Some bad stuff. Probably.
Something you don't want on the streets,
He
huh?
probably had a plethora of anything you needed. He's that guy who opens his jacket and he's like, "What you need?"
Yeah.
And he ended up getting arrested like within the 2 hours that I played right there.
Oh no.
So,
The better question is, how did you know he
And
was
then-
selling stuff?
and the other thing is that he was like the people that were, because the reason I know is because there was the people coming in and out, and then they'd come into our bar and get kicked out right in front of us.
Yeah.
And this guy, when he walked in, I was getting beer bought for me during my shows, and this guy came in and without hesitation just picks up all my beers and starts drinking them at the bar. And then he immediately got kicked out like probably
be pissed.
15 minutes later. Yeah, I mean,
Just finish
I don't
them
really
off
drink.
for you.
I don't really drink them too much down there, so I was like whatever about it. But
Yeah.
still, I was like pretty crazy stuff happens.
Absolutely.
You ever been buying any of those things from the cannabis carts down there on Broadway?
Yeah,
I have tried it. They're edibles. They had these Dorito edibles. that-
Delta 8?
Dorito edibles?
Yes.
Dorito edibles.
And they even had
Really?
Oreos.
They get you going?
Oh yeah, the edibles are different, man.
Well, they get a real
I
Doritos
don't really like
bag.
the smoking stuff, but if you're gonna get edibles, get them from like carts because they got Doritos, they got the
What?
Starburst gummies that you can do, all kinds of stuff.
See, because I've heard of a lot of like brownies and other like sweet edibles, but I've never heard of something like savory, like some chips.
You think it's
Yeah.
spice?
That's a hot take
It's
for sure.
it's
Oh,
all-
I'd
it's- yeah, I think it might be spice, to be honest with you, because a lot of people, these vendors down there. I mean, I'm looking at their carts. I walked by one last night on the way to the Predators game, and it just says cannabis cart on the side of it. And then I look at it, and
misleading.
everything looks like it for the most part.
Yeah.
But then I know that it's not. Otherwise, there'd be some police officers coming there to
It's a great
take
state
it.
of Tennessee.
But sometimes you think about it at the same time. If you do something like that, just out in public in the plain sight, just like
Yeah.
super open, do you really think
Like, nah, man, I don't actually
Nah,
have. What do you
man,
think,
I don't actually
bro?
have
Why
this.
I do
Like,
that?
this-
That's stupid.
Like, why would I actually be out here if this is real deal right now?
Yeah.
Either that or it's just some spice. So
Yeah, for
Spice
false
that
advertising.
shit messes with your blood heavy.
Their brain.
If you
Like you can't donate blood for 2 years if you smoke spice ever. Just one time,
Really?
2 years, blood done.
oh, looks like
I just want everybody to know that New Hampshire minus 2.5. They are sitting up right now, pretty, and it is. Give me a second. Last I checked, they were up 31-13, so it looks like that one's pretty safe right now.
I had a question. Like last episode, I asked a question, so I'm just gonna ask a question for you.
Okay.
This one's submitted from our good buddy Tristan Cunningham.
Wait, before we do that, does anybody else, Easton, anybody else got any more picks for the night? Because I figure we're about to start wrapping up. Okay.
Predicting a bad beat.
What's that,
Predicting
Cole? Can you
beat.
say that again? You got what?
I'm predicting a bad beat.
Okay. Let's hear
Kentucky, Vanderbilt.
it. Tonight.
Vanderbilt's getting crushed. Clean sweep.
Okay. How many points?
20 points.
25.
It's kind of close right now, I think.
25.
Last I
Okay.
checked.
He's calling it 25.
5-point game right now.
It's a 5-point game as we
The
speak.
spread was at 16.5 at one point, though. I don't know what it's at right now, but they're probably predicting that they're going to break away at half whenever
dang.
everybody gets tired.
But yeah, so
It's
our
15.5 right now. What'd you take it at? 10?
which game?
The Vanderbilt, Kentucky?
14.5.
14.5? It's
I liked Vanderbilt plus
It's
14.5.
only moved a point. It's at plus 15.5.
At halftime, New Hampshire has doubled up Hartford 35-17. Drake leads 36-30 in Terre Haute right now. That's heading into half. Hopefully they can just get a good lead going into half right there and then just blow the doors off in the second half of Indiana State and make that one not even close. And then you got those NBA games coming up with the Cavaliers and the Grizzlies later on. But that's pretty much the slate for the night.
Go Grizz, baby.
Yep.
So our question of the day, submitted by our good buddy Tristan Cunningham. In his prime, it's another Mike Tyson question for some reason. Would you take a right hook to your jaw, Mike Tyson in his prime, for $50,000?
50 bands?
In his
50
prime?
bands.
What's
in his prime? Like
What's Mike
me-
Tyson's prime?
Like 21, 22 years
Does
old.
he get a running start
Okay.
Just
or anything, or does he
50,000?
just get to wind up?
If Mike Tyson's in this room right now, am I taking a shot to my face for 50,000?
In his
I
prime,
know,
too.
but
He's going to sleep you.
Yeah,
You're going to
you're
sleep.
I don't think it makes it. I don't think it makes a difference in his prime or not. I mean, I
Oh,
think
it
he's gonna
does.
knock you
I think
clean
right
the
now,
hell out.
right
either
now,
way.
he probably
but
knock your ass
he has a
out
little more
still,
power
like, for
20 years ago.
He's gonna
But
put
once
me
you're knocked
to
out, you don't
sleep.
feel it. You know?
Yeah, until your damn jaw's broken.
I think he'd break my jaw.
I think
Okay,
he could.
for sure.
It's
I'd probably do it. I'd probably do it if he's
Bare
standing
knuckle,
there.
no.
Maybe. I
I'm
don't
probably
know.
not
We'll
doing
see.
it for the
If
50K.
you have insurance, you could
If
do
he
it.
hits
But
you with
would
the
they-
fucking bare knuckle, that's going to be like facial reconstructive surgery.
The
right
better
there.
question is, knowing how hard he hits and the shit that he brings to the table, is it insurance fraud if you do that, knowing you're going to break a jaw? And
I
they
wouldn't
have
think
to
so.
pay for your shit.
Yeah, I would get insurance on myself for sure. It's like
No,
Mike
yeah, but
Tyson.
like-
But is it insurance fraud knowing you're going to get
be
the
like,
check?
they're gonna be like, what were you thinking? Let
Yeah.
Mike Tyson
Tyson.
jaw you bare knuckle as hard as he can.
Yeah, I don't know.
Submit your
That's almost like you wanted
Submit
your
your
jaw
questions
to get
on the
broke.
Submit
Twitter,
your
the
questions to the
Instagram,
Twitter, boys.
DM.
Might just get your name called.
Yes, sir. But we got Riders of the Night, boys, signing off.